Problems on the beat. On my grave, I'm not going underneath. Call it luck, I'm just getting what I reap. Should've died, angels kept me on my feet. That's why these demons gotta kill me in my sleep. On my grave, I'm not going underneath. I never go another winter without heat. Gotta face it, just can't turn the other cheek. That's why these demons gotta kill me in my sleep. They know me very well, I ain't live no fairy tale. All the work that I put in, they know I ain't gonna tell. I keep it 100, cause all I know is real. I come from a line of hustlers, they only know the deal. They taught me how to move them quick and to play it slick. And to make sure that I watch out who I'm fucking with. Those motherfuckers got the game fucked up. They telling them motherfuckers to get a time cut. They slaves, they biggest fear is a lawnmower. I dare a motherfucker say my name, watch how I John Doe them. I blindfold them, duct tape to hold them. They bodies eroding, exposed in acid soaking. I'm popping pills and smoking, overdosing on hydrocodone. My story keeps unfolding, a prophecy growing. I'm on vacation, but I'm buried these snitches who scared of a conviction. Leaving the scene, but I'm leaving no witnesses. I just look at it like I'm saving somebody a sentence. My name won't be mentioned, so motherfucker, let's get it. As I time the mission, tick-tock for my decision will leave your fucking signage stripping. Problem on my grave, I'm not going underneath. Call it luck, I'm just getting what I reap. Should've died, angels kept me on my feet. That's why these demons gotta kill me in my sleep. On my grave, I'm not going underneath. I never go another winter without heat. Gotta face it, just can't turn the other cheek. That's why these demons gotta kill me in my sleep.
Circle way around, but still some are square root. Aided by the streets, only objective is to chase loot. Off my own too, that's how I pivot. Street life full time, no intermittent. I ain't scared of a sentence, accusation like clue. That sycamore blue is terror, hoping who's your roots. If not the troops, I lead my army through the field. Ain't gonna send the pawns march through the blood spill. I soak you like a pill, I alter your mind state. What y'all lack is heart, fall apart to the high stakes. Do this my way, my reputation savage. When I was down, bitch, I divided up the fractions and multiplied the addicts just to get the bag up. Seem like I'm always down, this shit don't add up. You big mad, huh? How I feel that I stay loyal. Acting like my brother when you mean more to me in the soil. I'd rather smoke a foil than shake your fucking hand. Regards you little bro, so I'ma turn my back like a man. You ain't trying to see these hands just cause you can't control your bitch. Ho, I take it to the grave, I ain't never snitch.
Hey, hey.
What is going on? What is going on? Oh my gosh. It is another Monday.
It is.
Monday.
It is.
Oh my God. I don't know about you. How was your weekend? How did you guys do this weekend? Where was you at?
Hint, hint. So subtle. So subtle.
Where was you at this weekend? I know where I was.
Days away. Days away. And he did well.
He did well.
He did well.
You know, real quick, just in case anybody out there don't know what I'm talking about, I'm wearing my near fall gear from Tulsa, Oklahoma's National Kickoff Classic. It was a great weekend. Oh my God. So many great wrestlers. I want to give a huge shout out to not just our contender crew and the parent, to every person, every kid out there that busted their tails. Oh my God, the amazing athletes that comes to this tournament. they were all monsters. They were all great. They were classy. They were whooping on each other, and then it was just hands down way to go.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. I mean, it was great to see that level of competition. It was great to see some of the doors opening from COVID. It was different. Everybody was out there together. You know,
That's cool.
Gavin, he did real. In my opinion, you know, this is his second attempt to go. It's only he just completed his third year. Went 2-2.
Yep.
Went against last year's national champion. Did a fabulous job. I mean,
That's awesome.
he's learning. He's growing. A big shout out to Sean Schmaltz of Contenders Wrestling and all the contenders and everybody that came out and all the parents that help each other to make that trip possible, because those trips are not cheap.
They're not.
And people will team up. We had a couple kids with us.
Go as groups.
We all went together. We took care of each other's kids. We looked out for each other. The whole Contenders Wrestling Academy family, I love you guys. Every single one of you guys are awesome parents. You're awesome coaches. You're awesome all the way around. And all the Contender kids that competed. It was an amazing weekend. Absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
That's so cool. I did watch the videos.
It was cool. And the level, because like local tournaments, you could tell when kids come and they could be really, like when you wrestle these guys, these are the guys that come in that sweep through your whole little tournament like, well, who the hell was that?
Right.
All of them. There was 38 kids in Gavin's bracket. None of them from Indiana. I don't think there was any kids from like double that state. I could be wrong. I'm sure there might have been a couple Oklahoma or something. But it was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
And the
It
diversity.
was because somebody said it the other day that wrestling is like the Marines of sports.
Yeah.
And I will tell you what.
Yeah.
You see these dudes work. I mean, you know, I know how much Gavin works, and these guys are working twice as much as what he does.
Right.
And you see these kids and how much work they put in, and they go out there, and man, it's just amazing. It was great.
You get to pick like who you want to follow in other schools and keep your eye on and everything like that.
And my partner in crime, Joker, dude, what's up, man? Dude, hey, January's coming. I'm already putting it out there. Screw it. We're locking it in for the Maine Nationals, January 14th, 15th, 16th. Anyway, this is a whole nother show.
Insane.
I got really, like, I had to wear my gear just for that. I could now change my clothes, go back to my usual attire, you know.
He's going to go in wardrobe
Wife
change.
beater and banana hammock, man. That's how we usually roll. I just said that joke a minute ago. I had to reuse it.
Reuse. Recycle. So, yeah, no, it's been crazy busy. And I'm getting job offer after job offer.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, major consideration.
I had to start my own because they wouldn't hire me. Like, you want how much?
Freelance.
Oh, you've got that. Oh, you do have that degree. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, freelance.
I got to start down here. No. Seriously.
Yeah,
So anyway, got an exciting show today.
Yes.
Seriously, we got a marketing guru. Hopefully that's not this over-the-top description. Coming in with a lot of experience that can work with your business. Any entrepreneurs out there that's wanting to find some tricks or questions that you can come in on. And it even applies towards a lot of our viewers that are in the music industry. Yes. That is also... because it's a business.
It is.
No matter what part of it, if you're going at it the right way, it's a business.
Absolutely.
And you need marketing.
Yes, a huge amount of marketing. And I think that this program is really what it is.
It's good. I mean, we're going to be, you're going to see TED Talk and then Monday Love with this episode.
Hey.
So anyway, without further ado, let's say hello to our talented marketing guru, Josh Fedie.
Hey guys, thanks for having me in. Marketing guru.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, you know.
I don't know. I'm not owning that today, but that's fine. That's fine. We can start with that.
We'll start with that, and then we can do some work with it.
Yep.
Throw out a couple illustrators.
Here's what I'm going to throw out there. I mean, I know I've seen your episodes, right? I've been connected to Miranda now for a minute, and I've seen some of your episodes, and when Miranda threw this at me, the first thought was like, no, I'm not. I'm not the right guy for this. There's no way. I'm not the right guy for this. Your audience is going to hate me. And then Miranda said, but hold up a minute. And what I want anyone listening right now going, wait a minute, this guy's not a professional musician. This isn't my jam. This isn't what I want to hear. I promise you, if you bear with us a little bit here, we're going to talk about things that are going to, without question, change the way you think about the way that you market yourself, that you brand yourself personally, that you try to increase your exposure.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of, listen, I'll just go real back. Okay. So we got some talking points here. I used to be a musician. I'm a recovering musician. That's what I say.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
And that's why Miranda was reaching out to me, because Miranda actually reached out to me through Guitar Center.
Yes.
And I responded to Miranda and I said, Miranda, if you're going to come at me with a solicitation, let me show you how it's supposed to be done. And I showed her the software that I built, and she went,
cool.
Whoa, hold up, right? What is this? I got to show this to the people at Guitar Center.
Yes.
So that's why Miranda came after me, because I used to buy a lot of gear at Guitar Center from my music days. But now I buy a lot of gear from Guitar Center for my business days.
I mean, I see a guitar back there.
There's always guitars. And
I was going to say either that's really well placement or
right.
No, it's out. That guitar is always tuned and ready to go. Right.
Nice.
That's the guitar that comes in when I've had a couple too many drinks at the end of the workday.
Hey.
The employees have finally left, and I got to play some Purple Rain or something. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's just the way it works. But that's why Miranda reached out to me. My background is in music, and you know, when I was a musician, I loved it. I did that for 15 years of my life. It was a big part of my life. I had my own recording studio. I was writing songs. I was working with local artists here in Minnesota. I was a studio musician. So I played every instrument you could imagine, including tuba. And they'd call me up and they'd say, hey, we need someone to come in. We need you to lay down just a little bit of acoustic on this track, play a little piano on this one. Hey, can you bring that silly big horn thing you got? I'm like, yeah, I'll bring it.
Tell me there is a recording with you playing tuba on it.
I mean, there's plenty of recordings.
I mean, like in an actual mix, like mastered. Oh, come on.
There's nothing. There's nothing I know of in the world with me playing tuba. There's plenty of times I was.
If anybody out there knows Josh, make sure to dig around in your gallery, find the tuba that's mixed with Metallica or whatever.
Find the tuba and you're good to go. Yeah, but that's when I was playing.
Is that Enter Sandman?
Right. Why not? Right? Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, when I was playing music, it was the highlight of my life. But it came to a point in my life where maybe some of your listeners are at that point as well, where I had to just sit back and say, you know what? The things that I dream of having in this world, I'm not going to get there with music. I'm just not. Music can always be an important part of my life. I don't do anything without music in my life. There's a TV screen playing music in the background right now. There's a guitar in my office. Yeah. There's guitars in my home.
I thought that was always like reruns of Three's Company or something.
it's it is Three's Company. I really love that "Come and Knock on My Door" song. It's a really good tune.
That's awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
But at the end of the day, I had to move on. I think what we all want is we all want to do something big out of this world, right? We all want to be able to live comfortably. We all want to be able to help the people we love financially. And I think that a lot of people getting into music, they think, that's going to be my conduit to that. That's going to be how I get the Lamborghini. That's going to be how I buy my mom her house. And for some people that is, but it's a small percentage. The rest of us, we got to go back to work. And, if we go back to work, what are we going to do? And how are we going to be fulfilled in our life? And how are we going to find meaning in what we do? And I'm telling you, the things I learned in the music industry, I apply every day to my business life.
That. Absolutely. I could
see that. Look at the microphone, right?
Exactly.
I know.
So
that's a good microphone, by the way.
This is a great microphone.
I bought from my Guitar Center rep. That's where I bought my 7 MB.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It happened. It happened.
It tickled my fancy.
So, and he was so excited.
Oh, you don't even know. I was like, ooh.
As soon as it got there, he was like, "We gotta."
I'm like
hold on.
Marty from fucking
Yeah.
Big Mouth.
Oh
my God.
He's the tech guy. So when it came to
I love
that,
that microphone.
yeah.
Listen, when Michael Jackson recorded Thriller, what was the microphone he was using?
The 7MB. Hell yeah. What
Best microphone ever.
What Queen was using back in the day, the 7MB. It's
Right here.
amazing. That's why it's called
It
the
is.
legendary
It
vocal.
is.
Every great
microphone.
vocal you've ever heard in your life, including me right now, has come through in SM7B, and that's just a
to
fact.
fit in
Yes.
the Monday Love, Jelly Roll records with the 7MB.
Yep. Yep.
Just saying, at least on some of the stuff I've seen him record on.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He takes the filter off.
Yep.
He likes the
Yeah.
the pop filter.
Yes. So, going back, you're in the business world, so you don't really have social media. So, if they want to contact you, is
LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn's a social media. I mean,
It is.
LinkedIn
business.
is social media, and
businesses.
you know, and it's and here's what I talked to Miranda about too when we were talking about potentially coming on. Was I know when I was in music that every musician I worked with had a day job, and a lot of those people's day jobs were in sales.
Yes.
I don't know why, but you know,
Well,
all of us
'cause you're
hooligans
already-
get into sales.
You're already naturally selling yourself, so the
That's right.
transition is just
Also,
Yeah.
that's why I sell banana hammocks on the side.
you're not right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how they? It's like hotcakes.
I'm going to have to find this website.
I'm telling you,
I know.
I will send
Yeah.
it to you. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
They even paid me
OnlyFans.
to model them. It's
Wow.
They sell crazy.
You're
Wow.
only fan.
Wow.
That's why I have 5 million followers on OnlyFans. It's just me modeling
Oh,
banana
my
hammocks.
goodness.
I was almost in for a minute there, but
I'm telling you, for $9.99, you will be.
there you go. There you go.
Okay,
No, but-
so
Sorry,
so you are labeled as a buyer enabler.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we call what we do, right? We call the software a buyer enablement software. And so if anyone listening, let's nerd out a little, and I promise we'll get back to how this applies to your music life. I promise. But let's
do it.
nerd out a little bit here. So if you work your day job in any sort of customer facing role, you're in sales, you're in customer success, you're in onboarding and training, any sort of customer facing and interacting role, your employer is likely licensing a software for sales enablement. Okay. There's over 8,000 tools in the marketplace for sales enablement. And these are softwares like your company's CRM, where you keep all of your company's information and conversations with anyone. These are tools like Gong, where they're literally recording every phone call you have with a customer and giving you AI intelligence to tell you to shut up because you're talking too much.
Right.
Or to
Damn
ask
it.
a specific question because they just asked you another question.
I could have
And
sold to my
those-
ex-wife. They would have told her.
I'm telling you right
Right
now,
now,
a
stop it.
a lot of men could use Gong in their relationship calls.
Dude, it's
No
about
joke.
time. Hold
Yeah.
on. Shut the
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, just stop talking, tell her she's right, and move on. Go to the jeweler before you go home. That's
There you
all it
go.
needs to tell you, right?
I
But
like the way he thinks.
yeah. But there's a lot of tools. We all use a lot of tools. On average, businesses license about 9 tools for every representative to be using in their day-to-day jobs.
I can
okay?
see that.
Okay.
There's a lot of them. But the problem that I was finding personally was that these softwares help companies be more effective internally. Companies have a lot of internal issues. They don't know where the materials are they need to share. They don't know what the conversation was. They don't know when they should involve the customer support team. Like there's all these internal issues they're constantly trying to solve. It's me. Back to relationships.
Right.
If you're all thinking about me all day, guess what's going to happen? The other half is going to say, screw you, dude. I'm out of here. This is ridiculous. All you care about are your objectives and what you want to do. And you're not thinking about me at all. That's what buyer enablement is. Buyer enablement is saying, okay, I get it. It's important for me to be responsive. It's important that I give you the things you need so you can feel educated, so that you can move forward feeling confident in your decision to work with me. You're going to have questions. I need to respond quickly, right?
Right.
But the tool is focused on making sure that instead of your life being easy, your customer's life is easy. so that they have everything that they need from you and your organization. They can easily share it with their review team, because that's the other part. And this applies to anything you're ever selling. There's never one person involved in a decision process. Never, ever, ever. And in the business world, the average is 9. There's usually 7 to 9 individuals reviewing every deal before they move forward.
Right.
But the problem is you're usually only talking to 1 or 2 of those people. And those 1 or 2 people are bringing the information you have been sharing to additional people. If you're not equipping them to properly communicate what you've been talking about, then when they walk in the room and they go, yeah, we should work with Josh over at Sales Reach. And they go, well, why?
Right.
They're going to fumble.
Yes.
And they're going to not present well. And they're going to say, no, let's stick with the devil we know. We don't need a new solution right now. Right. But if you equip them, and that's why we built our software this way, because they just share a simple web page with everything. And they say, well, here's everything Josh has ever sent me. Here's the whole conversation we've had. Here's a personal video from him introducing himself to you. You should watch that. And that's it. It's just that simple.
And it's the way that you sent it to me, had you have not held up that sign, like it was already muted.
Sign.
Yes. He responded back. I called him. And he responded back through LinkedIn. And he's like, I didn't know that this was actually a job. And it was in video form. And had I not been looking at it, I would have missed it. But he held up a sign because everything's silent. And I was like, what just happened?
I do that with every call. I'll put somebody's name on a sign.
See?
Okay. This right here, this $1 whiteboard that I bought with some markers is the most valuable thing I own. And I own thousands of dollars of equipment that are staring at me right now. This is the most valuable thing I own.
Yes.
Because if I record a personal video to somebody and I write their name on this stupid little sign, you know what this is? This is a classroom sign. It has a handle on it so kids can hold up answers to the math questions in a classroom. That's what this is.
Smart.
You can order these on Amazon. You can get like 80 of them for like $5. It's ridiculous, right?
That is
so you put someone's name on this board and you record a personal video and you just say, hey, Miranda, I want you to dive down this page. I've attached some materials for you to review on here. This will answer the questions that came up in our last meeting, ... Here's a link to my calendar when you're ready to reconvene or invite other people to the conversation. Everything's always there. It's so simple, but what it is, here's the reality. People don't want to talk to salespeople. They don't.
Exactly.
They don't. And any musicians listening, they don't want to talk to anyone selling anything. People don't want to talk to anyone selling anything. It doesn't matter what you're selling. They don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
And so if you can deliver things in a way where they don't feel like they're being attacked and they have the ability to review at their leisure and to understand why they should re-engage before they're forced to re-engage. Let them re-engage when they're ready. If you equip them to do those things, that's what buyer enablement is, right? If you do that right,
awesome.
you win.
Yeah, and you've done it right, and you've built it from scratch. You got
like Bisquick.
Yeah. Shake and bake.
That's a damn biscuit right there.
How long did it take you guys to build the I mean, it's probably always ever evolving, but how long did it take to get that beta up and going?
Yeah, I want to take a real quick step back. Here's something that I'm really passionate about that I really do want anyone listening to this to take to heart, because this is important for a musician. Having a growth mindset is the most important thing you can develop in your life. What a growth mindset is it's you setting aside your ego and your belief that you already know what's right and your belief that you don't need to learn something else and allowing yourself to learn new things. I have not always had a growth mindset. When I was a musician specifically, I was insanely cocky. No one could tell me anything that I didn't already know, right? It wasn't until I got into the business world that people started to talk to me about the importance of having advisors. And God, I wish I would have had someone tell me that when I was in music. I wish somebody when I was in music would have said, dude, you need some mentors. You need to network with other bands. You need to network with other musicians outside of your territory, outside of your city, outside of the bands you've been in, outside of the friends of your friends.
Yes.
You need to find some people that are willing to tell you some stuff and really listen to the stuff that you're doing and really criticize it, because they don't care. They don't care. They're not going to sugarcoat this. You're nobody to them.
Right.
I didn't know that when I was in music. And if I were to get back into music today, that's the first thing I would do, is assemble my group of advisors, because that's what I do now in business. I don't make a decision without a group of advisors.
Right.
I ask all my advisors, and some of my advisors are customers, and some are investors in my business, and some are friends, but the kinds of friends that'll be honest with me about things.
Tell you the truth. Yeah.
That's right. Have advisors around you. Having a growth mindset is everything. But here's the deal. Because I had a growth mindset when I got into business, I was working for a marketing agency, and the economy crashed. This was the last economy crash, not the one we're currently experiencing. This was the last one. And I was in business development, and I was, I'm going out trying to find new work. I was in a marketing agency, so we're selling creative services, and I was selling on a portfolio of work that we had done in our past. Okay. But the problem is we had laid off all those people that did that work. That's what happens in a recession, right? So, so I would go land this work with these customers, and then I'd go back to the office and go, well, I just landed this job and they need us to get started on a website tomorrow, but we don't have any web designers or developers right now. And the owner of the company at the time said, okay, cool. Can you find talent too? And I'm like, oh God, really? Is this my job? So I did this for a minute, but what really happened for me is I said, you know what, forget this. I'm starting my own company, because if this is the way business is going to be handled today in this strange economy we're in, if we're going to be hiring contractors and freelancers and just hodgepodging together things, I at least want to be transparent about it. So my first business was called the Adholics. And I did that because I like to drink, and I thought it would be clever to have a 9-step program on my website. So we called it the Adholics.
Nice.
But the 9-step.
I like it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun for a minute. But, the 9 steps were how to be better at marketing. We had web dev rehab. That was fun. That was a cool part of our business. But regardless, while I owned my own agency, I hated my sales process. And I had read an article that said, in 10 years, even salespeople are going to need to know basic HTML. And I took a ton of offense to that, because I was like, the way that's written, it makes me feel like you think I'm some Neanderthal that can't learn how to code a website just because I'm a salesperson. I took serious offense to that. So what did I do? I taught myself how to code. And then when I decided I hated my sales process, I built the original version of my existing business 15 years ago myself.
Wow.
And I used it myself for my own business. And then life changes, and I went back to work for other people, and there was no appetite for what I was doing with that product. So it just went to bed. Fast forward 15 years, the world has completely changed.
Absolutely.
And salespeople need to think like marketers. And doing crazy things like I used to do started feeling like a huge gap in the market. It started feeling like maybe people will actually want to do this. So I flew out to Boston. That's the first thing I did. And I met with the director of sales of a big company called HubSpot.
Yes.
And I said, here's my idea. This is what I want to build. Tell me right now that this is stupid. Tell me right now that you're already building it, or tell me I'm a genius and I'm going to go to town and nothing's going to stop me. And he said, this is great. We're not building this. You should build this. Our community will love this. Go. I got on a plane. I started calling investors on my way home. I had never raised money. I started calling every person I knew with money, right? Because I needed to build this thing.
Right.
So fast forward, I raised some money. I brought on a team, and I had the MVP of what this should be from 15 years ago. And I said, do this, but do it right. Do it in a scalable way. Do it in a way that we can bring this to enterprise teams. Do this in a way where we can have companies all over the world using this, with sales teams up to thousands using this thing. This is what the world needs right now. It took us about 1.5 years to answer your question. That was a long answer. It took us about 1.5 years
But that's okay.
to build the platform. And we've been refining it for the last 5 years that we've been doing this.
Wow.
That is awesome.
That's really awesome.
That is awesome.
Was that the longest answer to a question you've ever had on this podcast?
You would be
It's-
surprised.
yeah, you'd be surprised. It's really was a good laid down explanation, though.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding though. I want everyone to understand the value in advisors and mentorship. And I don't see it a lot in the music industry. And I know a lot of your listeners are in the music industry. I think that they think they have mentors and advisors. I think that they're confused though, because a lot of them are very close friends.
I think a lot of them have
fully
close
agree.
friends.
I think they're close friends. They're
And
not
yes,
really,
men.
and they're on a level, not a higher level. So there's not the goal orientation. They're content
You
at
just
the
said it.
level where they're.
You just said it. One of my advisors said exactly that. He said, Josh, you need to stop talking to these people that want to talk to you. You need to start talking to the people that you want to talk to.
Amen.
Yes.
Right. And that was one of the biggest changes that I ever had. And this, again, does not matter what you're doing, whatever you're focused on in your life. Talk to the people that have made it happen in whatever you want to do.
Yes.
And I think the other thing that's important here is this is business and this is music as well. But this is almost more in music, and I think that's why I'm so in tune with it in the business world. Everybody wants to do something big in their life. But how many of you know people that are willing to put their livelihood and their ego and their family on the line to do something big? Not many people, right?
Yeah.
Not many people. And so what's important is if you are going to put everything on the line to do what you believe you need to do to support your family, to create the life that you want, what you're going to need is people behind you. And this is so applicable in the music world. Fierce advocates. That's the term I use a lot in business. Fierce advocates, but this applies to music, right? These are your fans. These are your groupies, but that's a
these are the
dismissive term.
Yes,
Yeah.
those are your loyal fans.
These are your
true
loyal fans.
Solid
Because
fans.
these
Not only
are the
will they
people-
market you, they'll give you reach arounds.
Well, that's
Sorry.
sometimes if it's
Sorry, I've been holding
know,
back,
if
man.
it-
You've been saying too many good things.
yeah, if it's in the business world, hopefully not. But I've seen this now in the music world though,
Yeah.
and business world. When you have fierce advocates, when you have people that literally they're sitting in a coffee shop and somebody says, "Hey, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z," and they go, "Oh, dude, you don't need to worry. This is who you call. This is the dude. This is the platform. This is the musician. This is whoever." You need to build your group of people that always say, "This is the X and you're the X," right? And to do that, it's really people wanting to be a part of your world. Because
Yes.
like I said before, everyone wants to do something big, but not everybody has the appetite to try to do something big. But the next best thing is to be part of something big via someone else somehow, right?
Yeah.
Right? This is why groupies exist. That's what it is. I can't write that song. I can't perform on stage for millions of people. I really want to, but I'll just hang out with the drummer.
There
I
you
know
go.
the drummer, right? But we need these people.
but
We
we
need
do.
these people in music. We need these people in life. And so what you need to focus on is bringing them into your life. And the thing that I see in the business world right now that I think was stolen from the music industry, honestly, is CEOs like myself, but much bigger CEOs of bigger companies that are very vocal on social channels like LinkedIn. Those are our social channels.
Yeah.
But we are 100% available on LinkedIn. I mean, it's amazing that you can reach out to somebody at certain levels on LinkedIn and actually get a response and actually get a
Absolutely.
conversation if you do it right. And if you're willing to do that, you're going to learn a lot, number one. But the reason the person is responding is because they know they're smart. They know that if they take time with you and they make you feel special, they make you understand what they do and you become friends and you whatever, it's going to help advocate for what they do and it's going to help their business grow. And that's really how
Absolutely.
businesses grow is
Yes.
through word of mouth.
Yes.
So
The best form of advertising. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut up and let you ask me your next question. I'm going to do that for you.
You are totally, because this is very intriguing to me.
Yeah.
Being able to have what I seen was a musician, and the way that he was getting people to follow his page was he would record a message in Messenger and send it over. So when I seen that he had this, I was like, that goes right hand in hand. It really does.
So how does your program? You've thrown a lot of ideas out there, and it sounds great. How does your program work with this diverse population of different types of businesses? How does that work?
Yeah. So at its core, it's simplicity.
Okay.
We built a platform that when I sat down with my development team and my UX design team, I said, here's the deal. If my son, who was 10 at the time, cannot build a page, a web page using our software, when you're done, you failed. We're blowing it up and we're starting from scratch. That's it. Simplicity is key. In sales specifically, sales professionals have never been tasked with building a web page in their life. It's not part of their prerequisite. It's not on the job description, right? And speed wins. The stat is that if you do not respond to an inquiry in 5 minutes, you lose the deal. 90% you're going to lose the deal.
Wow.
In 5 minutes. That's how little attention span we have. Miranda, if I reach out to you tomorrow and I say, I blew my Yamaha HB, I think it's HB8 studio monitor in my home studio, and I need a new one. Do you have any deals on it? If you don't answer me in 5 minutes, guess what I'm doing? Calling another company.
Absolutely.
Sweetwater.
Yep.
Sweetwater. Guitar Center failed me again.
Yep. I'm doing it, right? Because I don't wait for anything in my personal life, and I definitely don't wait for anything in my business life. Because here's the thing, in my personal life, most of my purchases are under $500 a piece. Most of our purchases in a personal life are under $500 statistically.
Yes.
We buy a car and a house, but everything else is groceries and cigars and shit we don't need, right?
Right.
The occasional liquor store run, right?
Yep.
But in business, when we're making purchasing decisions here, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. And guess what? You're not special. Everybody else has built what you've already built as well. For the most case, right? Most companies have competitors.
Yes.
And if I reach out to a company in the B2B space and I say, I want this, I need to talk to somebody because I want this, and somebody doesn't respond to me, too bad. I've already moved on to 5 other people that did respond to me.
Right.
Right. So it's real important. Yeah.
So the whole idea sparked, like, even you said 15 years ago, ballpark-ish. People, a lot of people didn't even still have computers in their home.
Right.
So
yeah.
Just being honest, you know.
Going back to Tandy days.
Wow. We're going way back here. Yeah.
Commodore 64.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So you were in the business world long before you were in the music world, right?
No. So I was in the music world first. I just turned 41. I'm an old guy. I'm getting up there. I know.
Really? You're just 41.
Yeah. I'm 41. I just turned 41. God. I know.
You're grandpa.
Oh, you're old.
You're grandpa.
I know. It's getting there, right? I know. No, but I did music.
I'm 44, by the way.
There you go.
Damn it.
I got into marketing because of music. So I was in a band with my bassist in my band. His father owned a marketing agency. Oh. And I was selling cars, and I was working as a telemarketer in my day job. Like I said, a lot of musicians are salespeople in their day jobs, right? Yes. We still have to pay the bills. And one day his father came to me and said, we need a sales guy. And I heard you know how to sell. And I was like, hell yeah, I can sell anything. What do you need? He goes, well, we own a marketing agency. Can you sell creative services? I said, I don't know. I'm sure I can. Let's figure it out. Right. I was cocky. Let's figure it out. Turns out, as a musician, selling creative services was a perfect fit. Selling creative services is actually very challenging. And the reason it's challenging is because to sell creative services, you have to be creative. And guess who is creative? Musicians. And so if there's any musicians listening wondering, wow, I've always thought about getting into marketing, maybe dabble in sales for a little bit. And what you'll actually find is that sales, number one, it's not the dirty word it used to be. It isn't.
Right.
There are
dirty little word called sell.
It used to be bad. Yeah. And like, if you've ever seen the YouTube video about the sales badger, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So anyone that doesn't know, look up sales badger. It's horrible. And that is the persona. But the beauty here is that sales has changed so much, especially because of COVID. It really has.
Yes.
And sales professionals that excel today think like marketers. And so getting into sales today and learning how to use social media to brand yourself personally, to build a captive audience, to storytell,
Yes.
right? Those are table stakes for successful salespeople today. That's not too far away from what marketing is doing. Sales is a great entry point into marketing, but specifically look at creative services firms, look at marketing agencies.
Yes.
Because if you're already a creative individual, your brain is ticking. You know, one of my favorite people in the world was Robin Williams.
Okay.
That man
Amen.
Absolutely.
was genius.
That was one.
Yes, he was.
He was genius. That man could riff for hours and always leave you rolling and always keep you thinking. And he was always 10 steps ahead of you. His brain was clicking in ways that most people's brains don't.
Correct.
But
yeah.
that's the way creative people work. Creative people don't ever see something in a two-dimensional way. We never look at something and just go, okay, that's this. No, we look at things and we see the opportunities. We see the possibilities. And to be good in sales, you have to know how to ask a lot of questions. You have to have very high level of empathy. You need to have the ability to get inside of somebody and understand what is their world, right? I've been living in my world all day, but what is it like living in their world so I can help them craft a strategy that's actually going to work for them? And these are things that people that work in creative fields excel at. And I think that they just don't realize that they can apply those skills in the business community, right? But they really can.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to absolutely agree. Like, Joe does all of our graphics and our website and everything. So he'll be like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, that's really cool. And then he'll be like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, that's the same.
Right.
And so I get it. I've watched his creative process, and while I don't like truly understand it, it is definitely a different way of thinking. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Especially nowadays, because you're not good marketing is good networking. So it all goes right hand in hand and together.
Look at storytelling, though. Storytelling specifically is the number one skill that I think everybody needs to be focusing on. And I think your listeners need to be thinking about this, right? And they might be sitting here going, well, but we write songs. We're storytellers all day long. That's not the kind of storytelling I'm talking about, because nobody hears that story until you've told the story that makes them feel like they should hear that story, right?
Right.
Storytelling is an incredibly important thing, and using all the digital channels that are out there, you only have to use the ones where your audience is. If your audience is on TikTok, you better be on TikTok.
Yeah.
If your audience is on Facebook, you better be on Facebook. My audience isn't on either of those. I'm on LinkedIn.
Right.
Be on the channels that your audience is on and bring them the value that they need. But you got to tell the stories, because it goes right back to the advocates.
Yes.
They want to be a part of your life. They want to understand the things that caused you to write this line.
Yes.
And if they feel like they understand that, then they have a better story to tell their friends. Well, you should listen to XYZ. Why should I listen to him or her? Well, dude, there's this one song where the chorus is this, and this is about this thing that went through their life. And it was, oh my God, the story is incredible. And then when I hear the song, it just kills me, because it relates to me in so many ways, right?
Yep.
This doesn't happen unless you're a storyteller. And you see this in the music business right now. There's so many great storytellers out there. There's so many of them.
There are.
Right? Garth Brooks was probably the best storyteller that I've seen in my lifetime. I don't know how you feel about him.
Didn't write his own music,
He never wrote his own music.
but he was great at presenting it.
He was great at presenting it, though.
Yes.
That's the thing about him, is when he got up and sang the dance, everybody's eyes teared up because everybody knew the story behind this song, right?
Yes.
Everybody could relate. There can be pulled
Everyone
into
can relate
it.
to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like Jelly Roll right now.
Save me.
Yeah, and he's like, he performed at the Opry, and I think he has now found a producer.
Really?
Ooh.
He his
There you
last
go.
album was produced. What are you talking about? I'm a little confused.
Different producer.
Really? I think he should be sticking with the Dead Man Walking crew. I think
This is
I
new
think
information.
whoever
Just
recorded this last thing, they produced it extremely well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So,
I would be interested to see who they'd get, because I think that by far these tracks were better than anything.
Absolutely.
Seriously, if it's the same crew, I mean, to me,
Right.
it sounds like the same recording. It sounds like, I mean, when you start working with audio and engineering, and you can hear, like, when different producers and different people
Well, they have
use
their own
different tricks.
signatures.
They have
Yeah.
their own tricks on how they put the frequencies on the mics and this and this. And I
Yeah.
really feel like this last little drop for Jelly was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if he's gotten somebody better than that, I mean, I want to hear it. I want to see what
Right.
it's about.
Right, let's see.
Let's see what it's about.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I was talking about, though, with setting your ego aside, because you're 100% right. Engineers, producers, there's too many artists out there that don't credit their producer and
They don't.
the way that they should. And there's been a lot of producers that have been the reason that anyone gives two
Absolutely.
shits about the music that's coming out.
Yeah, because
So-
you don't get to hear what's behind scenes or what, somebody else, again, back to, you go to your advisors. Well, that is what a good producer
And
does.
here, and that's kind of, I want to see your outlook on this, because I look at it a certain way with the way technology is, the way it works, how so many options and endless opportunities. But it's also opened the door for oversaturation of material. I mean, I by far do I never credit a group that's coming out, yeah, things might not sound great. Everybody's at a certain level. I'm not saying it like that. But anybody can say they're a recording artist with a phone, a little Zoom H4 or whatever, and put their stuff out and put out tons of, without it being quality.
Right.
Yep. It's a big problem.
I really feel like it really hurts all the genres. I don't think it's just, this show kind of focuses a lot with the country rap, hip hop industry a lot, but we have artists from all different genres, and it seems to be a plague that's on all of them. Because you have artists that, oh, man, you guys are great, but when you have to listen to 40 artists, that's like, okay,
To get
yeah,
through.
to get to that, because of the different algorithms and the different how it's laid out, and again, it goes into how they market themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's a huge, the presentation value, how you present it to where it's like, oh shit, that's great, man. I've been wanting to hear that. But sometimes I feel like it's hard to follow the trends and the steps that they say to do to get there, because, hey, this YouTube video said if you do this, this, and this, well, 100,000 people just watch that, so they go through and go step, 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 step. Well, you're not everybody's going to get on that front page of Google, because you know what? 300,000 people now has followed that step, and it's going to take you 30 pages to get close to that. I mean, just in reality, I mean, I feel like it's a really, like, the SEO side of things, search engine optimization for that is a very scary little area, because
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like even a very well-rounded, experienced SEO engineer, marketer, however, I feel like even with the extreme experience, you're not going to be able to get the same outcome for every person, no matter what you do.
No.
And I feel like that is a very scary gray area to play ball in.
Yeah.
I mean, for
it
the
is.
business. I mean, because you see it, like, I get the, being, I run a creative agency, and we're pretty new. I'm very into everything you got going on here and talking about, but I get 1,000 emails in a week talking about, hey, we're the greatest SEO company. Hey, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to do this. And it's the same oversaturation of all this shit. Well, which one do I want to work with? I want to work with somebody that's going to work together. But I don't know. It just feels like there's just so much. There's so much and so many people. I'm going to sell you the best product. We're going to sell you this. It's a lot. Well,
Yeah,
who's
but
right? Who's
at the end of the
wrong?
day, this is my point exactly, because at the end of the day, you're not going to respond to any of those emails. If buyers today make their own decisions and do their own research, and they decide when they're ready for something.
Yes.
And when somebody decides that they're ready for SEO in their business, if that's what we're talking about right now.
But yeah,
right?
I mean, it's kind of, I kind of bounced around there for a minute. I think it kind of went two different directions and where I wanted. But no, I just, who's right in that field? Who do you go with? Who do you invest your money with to get I don't know what kind of outcome? You know, I mean, because I've done a lot of research. I've really hardcore taken some classes that I'm aiming to do more with. Yep. It's not a like, oh, you don't go to turn to page 4 and this is what you do. It's not building a Photoshop template. It's not following these steps for your motion graphic to go. It's a very gray and it's scarier. And for me, that's a hard place, because I'm really hardcore, like my graphics. I want this, and this. It looks like shit. I will trash it, redo it. I like having a set answer. I want this outcome. I want this. Yep. How do we get there? So I mean, and this is just coming as how you're presenting in things. I feel like this is what other entrepreneurs and other businesses look at. I have XYZ funds to budget into this. Yep. Where do I invest it in the right way? Because I just picked the wrong guy. Not only are we not on the top page, nobody's even seeing our shit, and now what little budget I had left, it's gone. Yep.
Well, that's the cool thing with sales reach. There's a free option.
Yeah, there is a free option, so any listeners can just sign up for free.
Yep.
But I mean, specifically, you're describing the problem. The problem is there's so many businesses are commodities these days. There's everybody's doing everything. Nobody's original anymore. And you're getting inundated with all this spammy stuff that is not applicable to you. And even if it is, even if you are looking for those solutions, they're approaching you in the wrong way.
Yes.
And you're not going to respond to that. And when you are ready to make a purchasing decision, when you are ready for whatever it is in your life, but especially in the B2B space, the first thing you're probably going to do is reach out to a friend and ask them their opinion. And guess what your friend's going to say? Here's who you call. And that's who you're going to call. And those other 100 solicitations you got aren't going to matter. Exactly. It's the same thing that happens when you want to buy a car. You want to buy a car? You should call me, because guess what? I love cars. I know a lot about cars. And I'm going to ask you a couple quick questions. I'm going to tell you exactly what car to go buy. I have no skin in this game. I don't care. I just like talking about cars, right? I can be your car friend in your life, right?
I like you, dude. We got some shit in common.
Yeah. People need those people, though.
And I just want to see your facial expression.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home final trailer.
What?
Completely no. It's completely off. I already, man. I am aiming in the dark right now, but I think I just want to. Yes, see, it's right there.
No, I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wyatt. Dang it! I should have took the bet.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I've been trying to geek out. I was like, oh hell, he is definitely Marvel. He is definitely on it.
I'm sorry.
I struck out.
I have a Tintin comic book collection over on the shelf over here, but that's about.
I'm not even. It was fun. I'm not even hardcore. That was so random, but I was going. I was like, I wanted to get the facial feature because everybody that's hardcore was like, oh my god. Oh my god! I gotta walk. Oh,
I'll check it out. I have not seen it.
If you've watched all the new ones and the old originals, you'll go, Holy shit. Okay, this is
okay.
cool.
I'm gonna check this out when I get home. What is
good.
this? Is this streaming somewhere I can see?
It's just on YouTube. It's just on YouTube.
All right, I'm gonna look at it right when we get done with this. Don't worry about it.
I was going for a shock and all, like, oh yeah.
No.
Anyway.
Sorry, man.
Nothing.
So what do you tell? And I'm going to push this because this is kind of where I'm at, because I'm at that point that I have a coder. I have me that I work with just about anything Adobe creative wise, some other things. But how do you go to that level where you're wanting to put yourself out there, and because I'm at that point where I'm getting some good jobs, I'm starting to lock in clients, but it's not enough, and I need to get out onto a higher level of how do you tell somebody? Because I mean, I'm really serious. I have coder, designer. I can face to face. We can talk all day, and I can talk it. To get there is where I'm struggling. And I know other people that I've seen pop up in here that are also watching, that are also struggling business owners that's trying to work in that way. So what's a good approach for just you're aiming in? Because like you're saying, some people like you follow Future. He phenomenal. I love watching his podcast. I love watching his insight. But there's a couple people that he worked with that says making those emails, making those calls to random people, and you probably will have literally hardly nobody that will feed back, but somebody will feed back. So and you're kind of like, you're not going to reply. 90% of the people will not reply to that, and then you have other people that are rocking it successfully, saying,
Right.
this is how I do it. And I get people, I spend this much time every morning and I send out this many emails, and I look for, and they're pulling people like on probably the lead finder on LinkedIn or something like that to get their leads. And then, I guess, it's not a set answer, and but
kind of is a set answer. I got a kind of set answer for you.
Share.
I mean, a lot of people are working too hard on things that don't scale.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, if you're going to be doing the cold calling and the cold emailing and all that stuff, your response rate's going to be less than 3%. So for every 100 people
that's about what he
reach
said.
out to,
it's about,
it's what it's going to be. So if you're reaching out to 100 people, and that's going to be a ton of work for you to find the information for 100 people to reach out to and deliver a message, and you're going to get less than 3 responses from that, that's going to burn.
Which out of the 3 is probably most likely 95% negative. It's not
they're not going to close. You're going to get 3 responses, and they're going to say, remove me from your list. But so don't focus on things that you can scale. What I would tell everybody listening, and again, I really hope this is applicable to your normal listeners, because I truly believe it is. There's a person that I follow a lot in the business world. His name's Gary Vaynerchuk. He goes by Gary V. Okay. And Gary V detailed out how you can take one piece of content like we're producing right now.
Yeah.
And you can chop it up and turn it into 70 pieces of content. Okay. Now, this is what you need to be focusing on. I don't do anything if it's not recorded. I don't sign up for anything. I've had people say, hey, we want you to do this. I'm like, are you recording it? They're like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm not there. Fuck that. That is not worth my time. Because if it's not recorded, it's a tree falling in a forest, and the 20 people that were there for that saw it, and that's it. And I don't care about that. I don't want to do that all day long, right? So here it is. I'm a big believer in this. Fake it till you make it, dude. Fake it till you make it. Okay. Storytelling is everything. I can't say that enough. When I launched this current business, the first thing I did was launch a podcast. That's the first thing I did. Why did I do that? Because I needed to make noise. Nobody's going to make noise about this. I need to make noise about this.
Right.
I produced a podcast. I started chopping up every piece of that, those podcast episodes into every bit of content I could to put onto LinkedIn primarily, sometimes Instagram. But LinkedIn is where my audience was. And I'm not kidding.
Work. Like that's a full job in and of itself.
It is a full-time job, but you know what? As an entrepreneur, You do the things that you need to do for the business during the day. And at 6 p.m., you start editing your videos. And that's what you do. And you shut up and you don't complain, because you don't do big things in this world unless you work your ass off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But like, if you think the world is going to give you any favors, like, sorry, it's not.
Absolutely.
I don't owe you anything. Nobody you know owes you anything. You have to do everything that you want for yourself.
Absolutely.
Miranda's a fucking hustler. I know that. I see all the different things she has listed on her LinkedIn profile. She's a hustler. I know this about Miranda, right? You have to do this for yourself. But that's what I did. You fake it till you make it. Let me tell you a real life story.
Okay.
When I was raising my money for my business, we raised a pre-seed, and that was a thing that happened to get us going. And then after we got going, a year later, I needed to raise more money. That's how startups work. And I busted my ass to raise that money, and I closed it. And it was an emotional day. And I had told my audience on LinkedIn, I said, I'm going to be honest about this experience. You're either going to see this end in a dramatic, amazing ending where we get acquired and we're all billionaires and we buy a yacht and throw a party, or I go bankrupt, and I'm going to go bankrupt in front of you, and you're going to know the full story, because entrepreneurship is tough and it's scary. And I don't want you to be deluded into thinking that this shit's easy, because it's not easy. Every day is hard. Right.
Yeah.
But we closed our seed round. I raised $500,000, and I woke up at 3 a.m. and I couldn't go back to bed, because it took me 6 months to raise that money and to get to the closing day. It was a very emotionally taxing day. I turned to my wife. I said, I'm going into the office. I can't sleep. I go into the office and I hit record on my camera, and I recorded a thank you video to my investors, to my audience, to everybody that had supported me the whole way. And I cried my eyes out like a little baby. And when I was done, I thought, I'm not posting this because this is too raw. This is just too much. And I'm a business professional. I'm a CEO. I need to act the part. CEOs don't cry, right? This is baseball. We don't cry in baseball.
This is baseball.
CEOs don't cry, right?
Right.
But then 7 a.m. comes, and I thought, all right, I've been sitting here staring at this for 2 hours. I'm going to post this. I posted the video. I sent one of my friends a message, and I said, dude, wake up, watch this. If this is garbage, tell me right now. I got to delete this before anyone sees it. Before he woke up, I had 50 likes on it. It was spreading. LinkedIn is different than other social channels. 50 likes on something in like an hour is a really big deal on a channel like LinkedIn at the time. Right? And the next thing I know, I get a phone call from somebody in California. And he says, I just watched your video. And I said, okay. And he goes, is that round closed? And I said, yeah, we just closed it. And he goes, yeah, but you don't have like a follow-on? And I said, what the hell is a follow-on? What are you talking about? And he goes, well, there's always a follow-on on a round. He goes, let me tell you something. He goes, my business was acquired a couple of years ago. I love to invest and advise with founders like you. You're raw, you're real. I want to bring some more money in. Talk to your lawyer, see if I can. Talk to my lawyer. I said, dude, what's a follow-on? He goes, oh yeah, you got 3 months. You can raise more money if you want for the next 3 months. So why didn't you tell me this?
Right.
So I call him up. I said, it's still open. If you want in, you can be in. He goes, great. I'm going to bring some friends in. Okay. He brought some friends in. Other people saw that video. More people saw that video. I turned a $500,000 seed round into just over, it was like 1.3 million, right?
That's awesome.
And it was all because of one stupid video where I was vulnerable and I was honest and I told a story that people could relate to. Okay. And I brought people into my world, and I brought people with money into my world that wanted to see me succeed. And that is what we are all trying to do. If you want to do something big in this world and you think you can do it by yourself, think again. You're going to fail. You are going to fail. But if you want to do something big in this world and you're willing to listen to outside opinions and you're willing to change the way that you approach things because of the way that people tell you to, you will succeed, because you will have an army of people behind you that do not want to see you fail, right? And even if whatever you're doing does fail, it was a learning lesson and they got your back. I can't tell you how many of my investors have told me flat out, if this doesn't work, we're investing in you. We got you on the next thing and the thing after that, because you're going to strike gold, and we want to be there when it happens. It might not be this, but it'll be something. Get people that believe that about you, and you will never worry again in this world, but you got to work your ass off because you got to prove that you're worth that.
Right.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Dude, you just got like, that made this whole interview everything. Seriously. The whole, I mean, we talked beforehand just a little bit, but I mean, kind of got the idea, but the insight, the presentation's beautiful. How it's laid out, how to describe it, what you got to do. I mean, it's just, I mean, really, seriously, that hit home in so many places. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
it is awesome.
So how are we, Wyatt, on time?
Shit, I just looked at the time. We're way over.
We're way over,
Yeah,
but I
we'll
do.
wrap up.
That's what I do.
Sorry, Wyatt. That was we were.
No, we
like
started about 10 or 15 minutes late, so we're
we're
about
good then?
5 minutes after. But we
Okay.
we could probably start wrapping up.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, dude. Like seriously, I will definitely be pulling on your strings and bugging you.
Hit me up anytime.
For
Dude,
sure.
seriously, connect with me on LinkedIn. Hit me up anytime, and I'm always happy to spend some time talking about this stuff. This is what I do. I love talking about this stuff, and I love to see people succeed. And, you know, people answer my questions when I have them, right? So I kind of feel like if other people have questions and I can answer them, I answer them. If I don't know the right answer, I introduce them to someone that can answer it better. Right. But reach out to me anytime, and anyone listening, you know, reach out to me, man. I've been there. I know your audience is musicians. I was a musician, man.
Right.
That's what I was going to do. My life was destroyed the day that I realized that I couldn't provide the way I wanted to and have the life I wanted to with music. That was what I wanted to do. Right. But I forged a different path, and I couldn't be any happier than I am today. And so if there's anybody looking for a little bit of advice, just hit me up, but you're going to have to create a LinkedIn profile if you don't have one. That's where I live. Yeah. And like Miranda said, if your day job is in sales and you're interacting with customers and you're sick of things getting lost in email attachments and you want to make your customers' life easier and you want to infuse some personality into your sales, use my free version of my platform. Just come to my website and sign up for it. I won't charge you. It's free. It's free forever. It's not a free for 30 days. It's free forever. And then if you love it and your company loves it, then they can start paying for it for you. But if you want to use it for yourself, just use it. It's fine.
Yep.
You know? So anyway.
Yep.
But this has been awesome being on. I really honestly hope that your audience found some value in this, because I know this is totally off topic for your normal episodes.
It is in some ways, and it's on in so many other ways. I kind of question. I'm gonna be straight 100% because I was like, well, what the fuck does that have anything to do? Like, I'm down to talk.
What are you doing, Miranda?
I'm down to talk to him, but how does that fit in this world? What are we? You know, how are this going to work? But it fits in so many different ways in everything. So it definitely, you know, and I know we're on the clock and we got to start shutting down. It seriously, this could definitely be a follow up. Like, there's so much information you got, and you know, I kind of floor. I'm not usually speechless because I talk shit or make fun or laugh, but now a guy's like, damn, I got to be serious now for a second. This is, you know, I'm very intrigued. But anyway, we're getting down to our thing. Hold tight, because we're going to do a little promo piece for when we're dropped on YouTube, and then we're going to go through our closing shenanigans.
I love it. Miranda, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you
This.
so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
dude.
you.
I will definitely be talking to you more later. Seriously.
All right, we'll be right back with you.
Oh my God, what a great interview.
I know. Wasn't that
Man,
awesome?
you guys
I know.
out there, you guys, I hope you guys get out here and see this, because I know so many people. I see, you know, Joe out there sitting there tagging everybody. Way to go, dude.
I know.
I
love
see
Joe
everybody pushing. You guys, this is seriously a really great eye opener for you guys, and how it's presented, and how, you know, to look at things. And it's such great input for no matter what level of a business you are. If you're a musician trying to get your band to a level, if you're managing a band, if you're managing a company, a creative agency, I was definitely really loved all this. So anyway,
That's
I'll go into
awesome.
our shenanigans. Hey, for anybody out there needing any podcast video needs, make sure to get a hold of Wyatt here at Wave One Media. He is killing it. He has so many options and prices and budget. It's great. Make sure you get a hold of Wyatt here at Wave One Media. He is killing it. Hey, and all this graphic design, the websites, the illustrations, the motion graphics, anything you need designed, get a hold of me at JK Multimedia Productions. We will tell your story. That's so funny. He's still sitting there. That's on my website. You have to look at it. Like, how can we tell the next chapter of your story? So I love how he incorporated that. That really pulled me even more in. And then Miranda Monday, raccoon hunter, networker, manager of the deeds. So make sure to get a hold of Miranda for all your managing networking. She is out hustling, talking to so many people and so many artists. Hey, if you got an artist that you want to see on our show, give us a call. If you want us to get a hold of somebody or you just want to find out, let us know.
Absolutely.
And we love talking to you guys. Make sure to reach out to any of the platforms we're on. We love reaching out, communicating with our fans and friends, and really just, sharing.
Absolutely. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. So make sure you guys get out there and share everybody's material, not just ours. Make sure to share Josh. If you're on LinkedIn, link up with them. If, you got some other friends that you think his information can help, share it.
Let 'em know.
Josh will love to speak with them. Did you hear how well he talked? He talked for like hour and a half nonstop. It was bam. It was beautiful. He sold everything. Like if I had money,
Very interesting.
I would be like, dude, you got me, man. I'll buy it. I'm broke as hell. My kid's wrestling fund's gone, but here you go. So anyway, sorry, I'll keep blabbing if not. So make sure to you got to have that in front of me so I can say it.
Okay.
With Greg up with. I never can remember the mark. Your guys up there.
Yeah.
You forgot we were out for a few weeks.
I know.
Say
we
it.
were.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start getting that. So, yeah, guys, do be sure to check out the newest episode that has dropped on all your social platforms.
Yes.
Podcast platforms.
This was
whichever.
episode 86. I had to go back and look. I think there's a few. Yeah, I thought we were closer to 90. But I think it was missing a few. So this was episode 86.
Wow.
I'm guessing we're going to be pushing around episode 90 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's not about right. So
Yeah.
maybe a little 91, 92. Before. Are we going to do another season? Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Hey, and that's it, guys.
Yeah, guys, everyone, you all have hated a Monday once or twice in your life. So let
Monday love you. See you guys.
See you guys.